Hello, my name is Kaylee, and today we will be discussing A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. So if you haven't heard of A Court of Mist and Fury, what are you doing with your life? But it's the second book in the Court of Thorns and Roses series, and this book, if you thought A Court of Thorns and Roses was good, oh my gosh, this book blows that one out of the water. Oh, so good. But yeah, this is the second book, so before you read this, you're going to want to read the first book, or you're going to be a little bit confused. Yeah, just a little bit. But anyway, this is probably my favorite book ever. Like, if you've been watching our channel, you know my favorite book is Ignite Me. But this book, I think, has blown it. Like, mind blown. I have a new favorite book. It's so good. But anyway, I highly recommend it. If you don't want to be spoiled, I would leave right now so I don't get a bunch of comments like, why don't I? But yes, leave if you do not want to be spoiled. Go read A Court of Thorns and Roses, and then read A Court of Mist and Fury, and come back and we can talk about it, and it will be so good. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this. Okay, so bye-bye non-spoilery people, and if you've read it, stick around. Let's have a good old chat. Okay, so if you're here, you've read A Court of Mist and Fury. I hope so. At the beginning of this book, I was so appalled by how Tamlin was treating her. She would wake up in the morning and just like vomit, and all he did was lay there. He didn't do anything. He just laid there and did nothing. I'm positive he heard her because he's a high fae, you know. So he definitely heard her waking up and throwing up in the morning and like not getting any sleep at all. And what does he do? He just lays there and does nothing at all. He just he was mentally abusing her while she was in that situation. I'm just so mad at him. How could he do this to her? He's supposed to love her. If you love someone, you do not have to force them to stay. And then finally, we get to the glorious moment where it's their wedding day, you know, and she's walking down the aisle, and all of a sudden she's about to get there, and she starts freaking out like, oh my gosh, get me out of here. I need to get out. Someone help me. And lo and behold, who pops up to save her butt? Rysand! Rysand is my freaking babe. I love him so much. He needs like a moment of silence. I love Rysand. So he comes and he saves her out of this wedding to a man that she doesn't even love. Well, she doesn't know that she doesn't love. We're getting there. We are getting there. And then she's like all pissed, like, why did you take me away from my wedding? And he's like, you were the one screaming for help. And I came and I saved your butt from that. I was just like, go Rise. Go. You know what is best for her, and you are awesome. So, because Feyre doesn't really know what's going on right now. So, anyway, and then, you know, about a week passes and she goes back, and Tamlin's all pissed, like, excuse me, you are not taking her again. She is mine. No one else's. She is mine. No, Tamlin. Just you wait, you little freaking idiot. And what do? You lock her in the house. Oh, no. Alright, first off, that is practically keeping a caged animal. You do not lock someone in a house. That's a prisoner. You cannot say you love someone and then lock them in a house. Like, who does that? If she wants to leave, you should let her leave. Feyre is not some pathetic little thing that does not know how to take care of herself. You remember in the last book, what did she do? She defeated Armathia. And what did you do? You just sat there and watched while Rise kicked her butt and killed her at the end and helped Feyre get out of there. No, all Tamlin did was stay there and sit and watch and cry when he thought she was dead. No, you're not doing that. My baby Rise is there to save Feyre. Hey, by the way, I do know it's pronounced Rhys and Rysand, but I will ever and always know Rysand. Rysand. He's Rysand. Anyway, after that, she's like, all right, I'm not going back. I'm staying in the night court forever. Forever and ever. Because I cannot be locked away again. Oh, when she meets Rysand's friends, oh, and you hear like all their backstories. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. I love more, and I love how she was like, her backstory, how she was in the nightmare court, not nightmare court, but like nightmare city thing, and she just like, her dad wanted to sell her off to someone in the spring, not the spring, I think it was autumn court that he wanted to sell her to, and then just, she like said no, so she went and she had sex with someone who was like a half-breed type thing, you know? Was that Cassian that she did? I can't even remember. This review's gonna be all over the place. But then, and so they sent her with a nail in her and sent her to the autumn court like, she's yours. How could anyone do that to a person? I was so mad at them. How could they do that to her? She's such a sweetheart. Cassian, I love Cassian. I love him so much. And then his like backstory and I just loved learning all of their backstories. It was so fascinating. All these people that have come from all these different situations that Rysand loves so much. And they're his, not only are they like his court, like second and everything, they're his best friends. They're his family. They have been there through it with him all along. And it's just amazing to see their relationships build, especially with Feyre. And I loved it so much. And, oh yeah, let's talk about in like the camp things, like the woman, they would cut off their wings once they started their period. And so Mor was like, I'm not going to start my period. So she did everything in her power to not start her period. And then, oh my gosh, like how can you take off their wings? The only thing I was able to think about, you know, the Angelfall, if you've read that, his wings get cut off. And you know how in much pain he was and how much he loved those wings. And they're about to do this to them and they love their wings so, so much. It wasn't Mor, it was Rysand's mom who didn't want her wings cut off because she loved them so much. How come a woman need their wings cut off? What is the point of that? So they can just be sold off and get married? I don't know. That was heartbreaking for me. Okay, and then going back to when Rhys just first brought her from the wedding and she was in that ugly dress and they both thought it was so ugly. And he's just like, I want you to say thank you first of all. Then I want you to take off that hideous dress. You look, his mouth cut a cruel line. You look exactly like the doe-eyed damsel he and that simpering priestess want you to be. So I hate it in books when the male, that's like the main love interest, treats the female like she is nothing, like she can't take care of herself. And it just annoys me so much. And then Rhys comes in, he's like, I want you to be you. I want you to whoop some ass, and I want you to be awesome. That's what I love so much about Rysand. Because he helped build her to the best that she can be, whereas Tamlin just locked her away and just wants her there for show, it feels like. And you see the difference in their relationship so much, to the point where, like, Tamlin, all they do is make out and touch, and they use that as a distraction from the problem at hand and how they're growing apart and how they're both broken because of what happened in the cave or under the mountain, whatever you want to call it. And then you see her relationship with Rysand, where they have all these cute, adorable moments with each other. And it's not just physical touch, but they have, like when they were dancing during the star thing and they're getting ready to dance, and then that like star ghost thing just pummels her in the face, and Rysand's laughing at her and she's like, what? He's laughing at me? That was goals. Oh my gosh, that was hilarious. One of my favorite parts, you know, is when they're testing out her power to go, and she goes to the Weaver and she's in there, and then the Weaver like hears her or catches her or whatever, and then she like runs up the chimney and she like starts panicking and she's like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? And then her brain's like, wait a minute.
I am almighty immortal. I will wreak havoc here and I will beat this Weaver.
So what does she do? She like starts banging on the walls and she gets a brick. She throws it at the Weaver's face and the Weaver's face starts bleeding and she's just like running across the trees. So good. I was like, oh. It was so good. so good. Yes. What's her name? It's like it's Amryn. She is honestly so cool. I love her. She's like the bomb. I laughed so hard when Farah brought her the blood, and then it was the lamb blood, and I was just like, oh, I like you a lot. One thing I was so excited for, like after Farah had gone through all of the training and stuff, you know, and she had like started mastering her powers, I was so excited for her to see Talon and just start like break out like, I am a warrior made of steel, you can't get it cause I'm a warrior. Oh my gosh, that song is just like Tamlin and Farah's relationship right there. And Farah is just so like made of steel, and she's like, no, I was broken and bruised, but I'm not anymore. I am not. I can whoop some butt. I was just so excited for that. And it never really happened. I mean, you know, what's his face? Lucien came and he tried to grab her. She's like, no, I'm not going with you. And she just like, you know, winnows a push on the other side. You trying to get me, huh? You trying to get me? No, I guess not. Sorry, I'm over here now. And then Rise comes and she goes with Rise. And I love it when they pretend to be like stone cold and like, you know, because you know that's not who they are. And they're just like, huh? And then you like hear it in the bonds, like that little of approval that Rise sends her down the bond. I love it. Oh, there's a quote in here that I love, and it's like, there's a darkness that frightens, the darkness that soothes, the darkness that is restful. I pictured each. There's the darkness of lovers and the darkness of assassins. It becomes that the bearer wishes to be, needs to be. It's not wholly bad or good. Like, if you think about how true that is, darkness, it can frighten you. Like, as little kids, being scared of the dark is something that is very common, but it also can soothe you. Like, I can't, like now, as I'm getting older, I can't fall asleep without it being pitch black. And then it like cools you and like just everything, the darkness isn't wholly bad or good. And I loved hearing that so much. Like, Sarah J. Maas's writing is so good. And her characters, she knows exactly what to do and knows how to write it to make you go towards what she wants you to think. And it's so good. It's fantastic. I love it how writers are able to do that. Not just with books, but in movies, TV shows. They know how to make you think what they want you to think. It's so good. I loved that part where Cassian was teaching her how to fight. And she just starts like punching and she's like freaking out and like crying and like, I killed them. And Cassian's like, I know. And she just keeps fighting and she just needed to get that out of her system because she knows she had killed them. And like, oh, wait, that part where she, you know, sometimes lets her mental shields down and she's like, maybe it's better to be dead. Like, maybe I should just die and like kill myself. And then Rise just like takes her turn and just go like firmly like, don't you ever think like that. Because the show, you just see how much Rise cares about Farah and about her well-being and how much he loves her to death. And I'm just like, oh, and that one part when Rise, and he gets shot with all those ash arrows and he's like sick and she goes to meet the Suriel thing and he's telling her all these things you can do to save it, and all of a sudden he like hears mate and she's like, what? The first thing that popped into my mind was, mate, you want them to have babies? You making babies will help Rise be better? You want them to make babies? That's the first thing that popped into my head when he said mate. And then they started talking and it's like I realized, wait, Rise and Farah are mates. They have been mates from the beginning. And that is why she wasn't able to be related with Talon, because she was Rise's mate. And it's so good. And I was just freaking out like, oh my gosh, they're mates and they're gonna be together forever and it's gonna be so cute. But then she finds out, and instead of being all happy, she is so mad at Rise, which by the way is ridiculous because Rise didn't tell her because he wanted her to fall in love with him, not for any mating bond that they have, but because she actually loves him. And so Farah being mad at Rise was no reason for that, because Rise was right in that scenario. Just saying. Another quote that I absolutely loved, and this doesn't, like, in the book, this can go for life too, like people who are going through hard times, because me, I know I've had hard times in my life, And so it's just like, Moore hopped off the bed, opened the door for me, and said, there are good days and hard days, even now. Don't let the hard days win. And that's just, I love that quote, because everybody has bad days, and some people have more bad days than others. Some people are going through more stuff, and it's just thinking, you can't let those hard days win. You have to keep your head held high, and it's okay to break down every once in a while, but you need to look for the good days and know that there is good stuff in the world, and it's just so good. I loved it so much. That ending, like the whole ending, oh, with that cauldron. And what was Feyre thinking putting those books together? So, but one thing I was confused about that part was when they got back after all this crap went down and Rysand pulled the books out of his pocket, it sounded like they weren't attached anymore. Like they'd been detached. So did nothing just happen when they're attached? It just, I don't know. I guess we'll find out in book 3. And then, oh my gosh, when that plan she had to get them out because she loved them so much. Oh my gosh. And she's like, wait, Tamlin, at the end, I was like, wait, oh my gosh, did that big bright thingy that made her go off, like, make her forget? And I was crying and freaking out, and I was just like, then I'm like, wait a minute, Kaylee. This is her plan to get the people she loves out. She didn't forget anything. She still loves Rysand. I was freaking out. I was a hot mess reading this book. Oh, and that one part after she was mad at Rysand, for not telling her that they were mates, and then everything that ever happened just comes tumbling out of Rys, like how he was Amanthea's whore and everything, and I'm just like crying, and I'm just, I was so, and think about it, like, Rysand has been through so much under that mountain. All of it was to protect that rainbow thing, and it was just, what is that called? Not like Star City, what the heck is that called? Whatever, the like jewel of the Night Court thing, and all of it because he loved all of them so much, and oh my gosh, and he suffered as being Amanthea's whore, and she knew exactly how to get to him, and just like all the lies Tamlin has ever told her comes out, and oh my gosh, it's so sad. I'm excited for the next book. Like, after I finished it, I was in so much mourning. I started reading Me Before You, and I'm just like, I can't. So I've been watching Gilmore Girls and not reading for the past 3 days. So, and so I'm in such a mourning period. I need the next book right now. Like, such a mourning. Ugh. Anyway, thanks for listening to me like rant and like freak out about this book. And if you want to follow us, all the links will be down in the description box. And leave all your thoughts and comments below. And I love you guys so much. And have a nice day. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.
I don't know how I do every day just to know. Got to go where you are. Everywhere I am here. Everywhere with my time. All the time, all the same. Where has my cell phone gone? Oh, where could it be? Oh, here it is. Keen and JC just uploaded a video. Does anybody else watch Keen and JC? They have a new book coming out. Is it already out? It's coming out soon. I'm excited. Oh, don't try this at home. I'm so excited.